things are going to happen in this country before the end of the month. I want you to take note of that. The first thing which is going to happen, which is actually scheduled now, is the NDC of both ODM party and Jubilee party. The two parties will hold their national delegates conference meeting on the 25th and 26th, the same day. Other small political parties supporting the Azimio la Umoja movement are also going to hold their NDCs before the end of this month. So that's the first thing. The second thing which is going to happen is that Raila Odinga is officially going to be unveiled as the Azimio la Umoja candidate. That will also happen before the end of this year. Of this month. The third thing which is also going to happen is that President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga are going to officially kick off the campaigns to make Raila Odinga the next president of the Republic of Kenya. What I'm not sure about is whether Raila Odinga or Uhuru Kenyatta will unveil Raila Odinga's running mate. And it is true that the person who is going to determine who becomes Raila Odinga's running mate is none other than President Uhuru Kenyatta. As a matter of fact, the president will have 4 options. The first option, which has been part of discussions but maybe constitutionally can't happen, is the possibility of President Uhuru Kenyatta himself becoming the running mate to Raila Amolo Odinga. That's something which at some point it was tried. There were people who talked about the possibility, but I think constitutionally it might not happen. But in politics, you don't rule out any other thing. One of the requirements was that Uhuru Kenyatta was going to be forced to leave Jubilee Party. But now, based on the Azimio la Umoja movement and the political parties, based on the Political Parties Amendment Act, which was passed by Parliament, it is possible for Uhuru Kenyatta to become the running mate from Jubilee Party. But that's one option. The second option is for the president to identify a running mate from the larger Mount Kenya. That's a possibility. Because for him to win Mount Kenya, he must get a running mate from there. So that's another possibility. The other possibility is just to look within Jubilee as a political party. Because the party which is entering into agreement with the ODM is actually Jubilee Party. So Uhuru can agree that I'm going to get a running mate, but he must come from Jubilee Party. Regardless of where it's going to come from. He can even come from coast, from any other part of the country. His fourth option is actually One Kenya Alliance movement. He can decide that as the president, I've identified Raila Odinga as a presidential candidate. I'm going to support him, but I'm going to give him a running mate from One Kenya Alliance movement. In fact, the truth of the matter is that when Wiper Party held its, when One Kenya Alliance leadership met, was it early this week, when they signed that deed of agreement, the truth of the matter is that these guys were supposed to also announce that they were going to join the Azimio la Umoja movement. But hardliners within Kalonzo Musyoka's camp said no, because politically, they must consider their interest. Probably I need to also do for you a video on that. But why would Raila Odinga allow President Uhuru Kenyatta to choose for him a running mate? The question is Raila Odinga a project? Or is Raila Odinga? If you ask me that question, I'll tell you that Raila Odinga is actually not a project, because Raila Odinga has always contested. Whoa, guys, I forgot to put the mic. Hope I'm not late. Sorry, guys. Raila Odinga is not a project, if you ask me, because he's contested before. Raila Odinga was even going to contest whether Uhuru liked or Uhuru didn't like. But why would he compromise to have Uhuru Kenyatta make the choice of his running mate? Or why would Uhuru Kenyatta want to support Raila Odinga on condition that he appoints a running mate? In my view, 4 or 5 reasons. Number one is that Uhuru Kenyatta is keen on having influence beyond 2022. How many presidents have you had in this country? We had Mzee Kenyatta, who died in office. We had Moi, who was removed. And after that, Moi just decided to go and have a rest, maybe because of his age. After Moi, we had Mwai Kibaki. Again, the moment Mwai Kibaki retired, he went and rested, maybe again because of age. Then now we have Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta is still young. That's the truth. Let's not run away from it. Where will Uhuru Kenyatta go after 2022? Uhuru Kenyatta will still be actively involved in politics of this country. Even if he were to decide to retire, everybody will still be going to Uhuru Kenyatta to consult him on so many issues. So Uhuru Kenyatta would want a situation where after his term comes to an end, then he can still have a say in government. One of the ways of having a say in government is probably to identify a running mate for Raila Odinga. You know, when you identify a running mate to Raila Odinga, what it simply means is that that guy has a chance of becoming a president. For example, RUto has a chance of becoming a president if anything were to happen to the president constitutionally. So the person he's going to identify is someone who, in my view, will be able to help him achieve his objectives. So that's number one. Number two, I also look at it as part of President Uhuru Kenyatta's succession politics. Uhuru Kenyatta wants Raila Odinga to succeed him. But Raila Odinga is going to be a transitional president, which means the person who is going to be appointed as his running mate is someone who will be monitored keenly beyond 2022. How is he going to conduct himself? Is he going to be a powerful person? Where is he going to come from? Is that guy having the ability, the capacity to lead this country? Of course, for you to be identified as a running mate, you must have that ability to lead the country. So we are going to see very closely, to wait very closely and monitor this kind of a person. If it's going to be Gideon Moi, then you'll definitely know where it's going to head to. If it's going to be Peter Kenneth, then you'll know that Uhuru Kenyatta is keen on ensuring that probably Kikuyus are not outside the government, or probably that Peter Kenneth guy is not going to be the face. He could be Peter Kenneth, he could be someone else, maybe Peter Munya. So that person is going to choose is actually going to be his successor, in my view, from the larger Mount Kenya region. So basically, Uhuru Kenyatta is going to choose a running mate who is going to help him deal with the issue of his own succession politics in the larger Mount Kenya region. So that's number two. Number three, I think it's about Mount Kenya factor. You know, Mount Kenya region is not going to produce a running mate, a presidential candidate. And if you look at it critically, you can even say that in the next 10 years, it will still be very difficult. Someone will emerge, but to be elected a president will still be very difficult. And they have the numbers. So how can Uhuru Kenyatta appease the larger Mount Kenya region? That I want you to go and support Raila Odinga, then I give him a running mate, maybe Kalonzo Musyoka. I just wanted to support him. It can't work like that. So in my view, I think the reason why Uhuru is keen on having a say on who becomes Raila Odinga's running mate is because he wants to use that running mate slot or position to actually appease the people or the voters of the larger Mount Kenya region. Number four, in my view, is Jubilee Party. Uhuru Kenyatta is the party leader of Jubilee Party. Is the Jubilee Party leader. The truth of the matter is that Uhuru Kenyatta is now keen on revamping Jubilee. And Jubilee Party is going to support Raila Odinga. Is one of the parties which are likely to support Raila Odinga. Actually, it's going to support Raila Odinga. But Jubilee, as a political party, are telling Raila that we are going to support you as the ODM party leader. Give our party leader the leeway to choose the running mate. Raila Odinga, being Raila Odinga, is not going to say no, because what he needs now is to win the seat. And remember, constitutionally, once a running mate is appointed, the president cannot fire. If Uhuru had a way, William Ruto would have been kicked out of this government long time ago. That's not happening. because the constitution. But I tend to think that it's Jubilee who are putting pressure on the president to actually make sure that at the end of the day, they will be number 2. So that the moment Raila Odinga will leave office, Jubilee will have someone they can affront as a presidential candidate in future. Number 5, in my view, I also tend to think that Raila Odinga could actually be the one who is telling Uhuru Kenyatta, just support me, choose for me a running mate. Because, Raila Odinga wants to be the president. And Uhuru Kenyatta's support for Raila Odinga is also very critical for even Raila Odinga himself. So what other thing can he offer to the president? Okay, Mr. President, you are supporting me, and please give me the running mate. So it's going to be upon the president to identify a running mate and give that running mate to Raila Odinga under the Azimio la Umoja movement. And lastly, it could also be possible that President Uhuru Kenyatta has been given this leeway to have a running mate, or he has decided, I'm going to have a say on who becomes the running mate, so that he can use that running mate slot to dangle it as a carrot to One Kenya Alliance leadership. One Kenya Alliance leadership are intending to be on the ballot as a third force. The truth of the matter is that third force is not going to work in this particular election. It's going to be a 2-horse race. But should they keep their threat and words and go up to the ballot, chances of this country going for a runoff is going to be very, very high. And if it's going to happen like that, it would mean that Uhuru Kenyatta shall have been defeated in the first round. Uhuru Kenyatta wants a situation where this election is done and dusted first round. So he can decide, if One Kenya Alliance leadership are giving him problems, he can decide to give them, you guys take the running mate. So if it's Kalonzo, if it's Gideon, it will be up to them. If it's Martha Karua, it's up to them. But I see a possibility of someone cleverly trying to make Martha Karua Raila Odinga's running mate. So Martha Karua will be part of the One Kenya Alliance leadership. They'll put pressure on their side. Then after that, Martha Karua will be their compromise candidate for the running mate. Gideon Moi, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, Jirongo will agree, let us front Martha Karua. And Martha Karua will be given to Raila Odinga. And by giving Martha Karua to Raila Odinga, she will come as One Kenya Alliance leadership. So he will come as One Kenya Alliance running mate. Once that's done, then he will serve also as, he will also solve the Kikuyu factor in all this equation. I don't know what to think, but that's my thought. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. Bye-bye.